It's just that passion, and it becomes like a real game.
I mean, it is an addiction, yeah.
Who's got the most soap, who's done this, who's risked the most, who's got the most.
It's almost like a silent destroyer in our community.
Just release something and you forget about everything around you.
You're always thinking about it. You're on the street, you see it everywhere you go, it's nagging at you.
This is not artwork, this is criminal damage.
I think they're killing people.
Graffiti, it's its own thing and has its own rules, and it answers to itself and not really anyone else.
Love it or hate it, graffiti is an issue that provokes some strong opinions. For some, it's big business. Graffiti artists such as the elusive Banksy can pull in six-figure sums for his work. For others, it's a costly problem. Some say graffiti can increase a sense of fear in the community, and local councils spend millions of pounds every year cleaning it up. So, is it art or is it vandalism?
No, mate. Yeah, I'll blast it off.
It's another busy morning for the Leeds City Council graffiti removers. The team has the endless task of cleaning up around 30,000 markings, or tags as they're known, across the city every year. It might only take a moment to tag a wall, but removing it is a different story.
The first chemical put on was an AK-33. Leave that on for about 40 minutes, and that works its way in it. Hopefully, gets most of the graffiti off. Sometimes it doesn't. We have to put what we call on it's called a shadow remover. Leave that on for about 20 minutes and hopefully that works into brickwork and it just gets rid of that shadowing wall.
I mean, what kind of protection do you have to have on when you do this kind of thing?
Protective clothing, steel-toe cap boots, all the PE gear, masks, goggles, you know, gloves, everything, you name it.
The thing is, you're doing this full time.
Oh, it's never ending.
I mean, what do you think when you come to work in the morning? What have they put up again overnight?
Yeah, it's just another day. You know, sooner take it off and you go back into it next morning and it's back on the walls. Yeah.
Must be soul destroying for you.
It is, yeah, because it's a shame round here. Like most of the neighbours round here, as you can see, there's quite a few houses round here and people are trying to put themselves out by putting flower pots out. Even the shopkeepers, they're even getting on the shutters. If they've got a white vehicle, you know, end up putting it on the vans, it's just destroying. Yeah. It's just never ending.
It is a never-ending process, but also an expensive one, costing Leeds taxpayers in excess of £500,000 a year. And Leeds City Council believe this figure is just the tip of the iceberg.
Almost like a silent destroyer in our community, where residents are having to face accumulations of graffiti, perhaps dog mess on the ground, litter. It discourages them from going outside. And as a consequence, their levels of physical activity reduce by up to 50% in some cases. And it's more likely you get 50% plus obesity in these areas as well. And we're losing 18 million sick days a year due to obesity. So we need to make an inroad into trying to fight some of this environmental crime.
So really you're saying that the problem is much greater than the individuals actually realise who are putting this stuff on the wall?
I think they're killing people. We're getting about 1,000 deaths, excess deaths a year due to problems of physical inactivity, due to obesity, etc. And this is down to the fact that people don't like going out in the community where they don't feel safe.
That's a strong thing to say. People are expressing themselves, but you believe they're killing people.
This is not an expression. This is sheer vandalism. And what it's doing is it's actually detracting the people around about here to having a safe community to live within. It's not just on the wall, it's on the floor, it's on the bins, it's all around us. And one piece leads to another piece. It's not art.
It's coming up, it's there.
There are those, though, who would disagree with the council.
So can I go from here?
Many people do see graffiti as an art form. Some members of the community have even commissioned graffiti artists to paint this wall in the Hyde Park area of Leeds. They now have an ever-changing gallery of art right outside their homes. Today, artists Neil and Kube have come along to add their work to the wall, and it seems to be going down well with the local residents.
I like it. You know, the idea is to channel the work here away from the rest of the neighbourhood. Give the young lads somewhere to to express their creativity. I like it. There's a rumour going around that one of these guys is actually Banksy.
Which means the wall on your estate 100 yards from your front door could be worth a fortune.
Right, I'm going to start hacking it off.
It's there.
How did you start with it? I mean, did you just expressing yourself?
I've always drawn, always since I was little, but first encountering graffiti were through skate parks and things like that when I was much younger, and it just seemed a logical progression. It's a really great way to get your work straight out into the world. You don't have to mess about with galleries or anyone. You can just say, I've done this, I want people to see it.
Do you want me to do the hair or just
no,
take it
I'll
up
do
to
the hair.
it?
Just finish your bit up.
What is it about graffiti that really, you know, makes it worthwhile for you?
Having people see it, you know, I think that's a big, you know, big thing about creating anything. It doesn't really mean anything unless people actually see it.
Would you like to see more legal walls?
You know, loads of them are getting shut down all over the place, and there's a real clampdown. And I think if they're trying to stamp out the illegal side, it just doesn't make sense to kind of get rid of places like this.
But the bottom line is graffiti is illegal. Those caught face heavy penalties. Police in Leeds take a hard line on the crime.
This type of artwork, as you refer to it as, is not tolerated at all. This, as you can see, is straight up criminal damage. We have a number of residents meeting where the community are up in arms in relation to people using these walls to express their art and their concerns.
I suppose, though, with it being here for so long, that's a hard thing to do, isn't it? Because it's become kind of accepted.
It's not accepted at all from a police point of view. And if we do actually catch people out and about from our local police officers or from local intelligence, we will arrest these people and we will put them before the judicial system.
But the threat of a prison sentence doesn't seem to be enough to deter many taggers. I spoke to an illegal tagger known as DLD, who told me that for him, graffiti is an addiction.
So you're always thinking about it, it's always in your mind, like, it's nagging at you. I mean, it's just, you're always thinking about it. You're on the street, you see it everywhere you go. It's just, I mean, it is an addiction, yeah.
You're perfectly okay with the fact that it is illegal what you're doing. Are there boundaries, though, to what you will actually do?
I've got my morals. I mean, I won't graff on a church, I won't graff on a mosque, I won't graff on any like religious buildings. I won't people's front doors, people's houses. I wouldn't want it on my front door, but public buildings or train tracks. I think at the end of the day, if you're looking out of a train window, you either see a mossy black wall, or you can see what I perceive as art, what I've put effort into.
That's the thing, you perceive as art, others perceive as vandalism.
Art will always be the perception of the person who's done it. Well, I always view advertisement as a bit of an annoyance. Everywhere you go, there's advertisement on the buses, TV, like beer mats, everything has got advertisement on it. And like my graffiti, I'm not asking them to buy anything, but it's in the same places, and the only reason it's perceived as bad is because it's illegal. At the end of the day, I'm advertising myself, I'm not advertising a product, I'm not asking for money, I'm not asking for anything.
But there is money to be made with graffiti. Many local shop owners commission artists to create works on their properties that prevent the taggers making their mark. Neil also has his own studio, creating works on canvas, but his real love is the freedom of a blank wall.
I can still see myself approaching a wall at 70 years old with my Zimmer frame. Graffiti kind of is my art and is such a vital thing to it that I couldn't say I'd stop doing graffiti. It'd be like saying I'm going to stop doing art. To me, they're one and the same, so, and I can't imagine me ever putting a pen down.
Wouldn't you be absolutely gutted if someone came along next week and just went whoop, straight over the top?
No, we'll come away today, we're having our photos and stuff. It's just a good sense of community. It's nice to have these walls for everyone to share and do stuff.
So it all comes back to the age-old question, is it art or vandalism? Graffiti has been making its mark for centuries. It's been tolerated, maybe accepted by some. But is the day coming when many won't be able to have their spray?